Let's look at adding a new child to Transparent Classroom. This is often the first thing you have to do to get started. You'll want to go to Children here on the left, and then you can add a single child by clicking on Add Child. This is all the information you need: first name, last name, birthday, gender, classroom, and session in order to get going. So let's go ahead and start. Pebbles. I'll go ahead and hit save, and that will actually save the child here. And so we can go find her by looking for Pebbles. Now, we want to actually add a picture to her as well. So I've already gone into and uploaded a picture, and I'm going to just tag this picture with her picture. On the first day of school, a typical thing you might do is just take a picture of each child and just tag them in the pictures that you take. Now what I can do is click on her name and click on this little place up here where the profile picture normally goes and click change. And I'll have any pictures that are of her here that I can choose as her profile picture. So I'll click upload, and now she has a profile picture. This works pretty well for adding anywhere from 1 to 20 children. It doesn't take very long. It might take up to 15 minutes, half an hour. But if you have 50 to 100 to more children, you really want to use some sort of a spreadsheet to import all of them. So we support that too. You can go back to Children and click on Import here. And this is a little bit of an experimental feature, so if you have any problems with it, feel free to just send us your file and we can help you. But if you wanted to go ahead and try it, I'll walk you through what it looks like. First off, you need to have certain columns in your spreadsheet. So we can download the example file here to see what those look like. Let's bring that over here. Some of these are necessary, not all of them. So first name, last name, birth date, gender, and classroom, those are the necessary columns in the spreadsheet. You can, in addition, also have middle name, allergies, dominant language, grade, program, etc. But you don't need all of those. So I've already prepared a spreadsheet that we can use. So here we have some children that are already in my school, but some children that aren't. So these, actually let's add one that isn't. So bam, bam. No allergies. And let's change allergies for someone else. Maybe Alice is now also allergic to dairy. So I'll go ahead and save this. And as I save, I want to make sure I save as a CSV. So if I hit Save As, I'll have the option to save as a comma-separated value file. So definitely choose that. I've already saved it, so I'm going to go back to Transparent Classroom and choose that file. After I upload it, it'll show me the first few lines just to make sure everything looks all right. And now I can connect the columns in my file to the child field names, child fields. So within Transparent Classroom, when we see the first name, we want to connect that to the column called first. Last gets connected to last, birth date to birth date, etc. What's most important is that you've mapped these first columns that I'll say required here. If there's any of the other ones that have data that you want to bring in, you need to map those as well. So we'll map allergies and dominant language. I think that's all we care about right now. So we'll go ahead and save this. Now those are mapped and we can choose a session. So we're going to go ahead and choose the 2016-17 session because that's our current session. And that's where it will put the children. Next, let's go ahead and preview it and see if there's any errors. Sometimes there may be errors, or it may be that there's a different child's name in the spreadsheet versus within Transparent Classroom. Here we see that Bam Bam Flintstone is a child that we're adding, and then these missing children, these are all children that are already in Transparent Classroom that are not in my spreadsheet. Sometimes that's a problem. In this case, I've made sure that those are all expected. And then these are all children that aren't already in Transparent Classroom, and we'll see any changes that we have here. So right now, the only changes we're changing these allergies from peanuts and soy to peanut, soy, and dairy. So that all looks good to me. So I am happy to go ahead and import it for real. So I'll click Import, and I'll wait a second, and it should actually make those changes. So it looks like it did add Bam Bam, and it did make that change. So let's go check that out. We'll go back to children. We'll go look at, well, let's go look for Bam Bam first. Here we see Bam Bam, great. And then let's go look at allergies. The fast way to look at allergies is just to switch from parents to allergies here so you can see your whole class. And I think it was Alice. Yeah, here we go. Peanuts, soy, and dairy. So it did actually pull in those new allergies. The last thing I want to talk about is how to add parents. So it's a similar process. We're going to go ahead and go to Directory for Parents. And we'll look at adding a single parent. So again, new parent here. And we'll type Fred Flintstone. Fred F. And this is a parent, not a teacher or any other role. And his children are Pebbles and Bam Bam. And I'll go ahead and create and send him an invitation to Transparent Classroom. So in the same way as before, if we have many, many parents, that's going to prove very time consuming. So we can also import parents as well. There's a few more fields that are necessary here. So I'm not going to go ahead and do the import right now, but you can just follow the same process you did before. But I do want to just look at quickly what a spreadsheet might look like for importing parents. So the fields are a little bit different. You'll need first, last, and birth date of the child. And then for each parent, you'll need at least the first name, the last name, and the email. Now the first, last, and birth date of the child are very important because we use those to make sure that we found the right child that we're attaching the parents to. So you need all of those. And then for parents, all you need again is first, last, and email for each one. And you can import up to 2 per child. You can, in addition to that, have things like phone numbers and addresses. That's up to you. So that will probably get you started. Again, if you have any problems, feel free to ask us. You can always go to this little question mark up here if you want to get some support. Good luck importing and adding your children and parents.